Hey, hope you're doing well. We've got some major concerns over in the South American region. In a world where communication is everything, unfortunately for Sam RLCS players, that is being cut off. A lot of us in the esports industry rely on Twitter or X for our ability to get information. It's where most of esports operates. It's where most people communicate, where they coordinate with everything. It's kind of the thing that we rely on. And even though there is plenty of alternatives, Twitter has become the staple for it. It's basically how we do everything. It has provided to be that level of communication, both on the sending side where people need to talk to each other, as well as on the receiving when Psyonix puts out updates and stuff, primarily because their website is doo-doo, as we all know. Even with the latest update, they don't really talk or communicate well about regular updates. I don't think any of the recent tweets about RL Esports, the schedule, any of that kind of stuff is on the website. So because of that, we've got some major concerns. For those that don't know, there was a recent Reddit post. He is a South American player who's been competing in the RLCS for quite a while. Played for Novus AV, Endgame, and then he's most recently for the last 2 years was with W7M, the team that has been relatively competitive in the South American region. There was some political fights between Elon and the Minister of Supreme Federal Court of Brazil. And due to this kind of altercation, Brazil has had Twitter banned for them. They're not allowed to use it. According to the Reddit comments, Judge Moraes demanded Twitter to ban some accounts. The judge basically stated that those bans were valid because of hate and anti-democratic speeches that was happening on those accounts. Twitter refused, to which then Moraes applied a 40,000 fine per day. Twitter then withdrew the legal representatives because of that and stated that those decisions were illegal and motivated by politics. And then it goes back and forth. There was documents that were sent, others that were leaked. And eventually, Twitter was suspended for everybody in Brazil. Musk created an account to expose the illegal actions of the judge and so on and so forth. We don't need to go into the whole politics of it, but basically one person's ego got bruised, the other person's ego got bruised, but one person's ego spent $44 billion to own the rights to Twitter and then decided, screw you, and banned them. The problem with this is even if people in Brazil use a VPN and it gets found out, they can still receive a $9,000 fine, which is a lot of money. And because of this, Sam doesn't really have... And we say South America, obviously there's Chile and a bunch of other places that still can, but a majority of the top level pros in South America are from Brazil and are Brazilian. And they don't have a way to communicate or a way to interact with one, other regions, or two, receive updates on things. While Discord is probably going to be the primary way for them to communicate, and the Discord servers for that SAM region is how they'll do it. They'll have a representative. Getting information from the outside sources is always going to be super complicated. So I find that to be quite problematic, as we have, I think, arguably seen South America solidify themselves as the fourth best region in Rocket League, behind NAEU, and I would say MENA's number one team is really good. But like, South America has proven to be regularly competitive. Like, they've been doing a lot of good things in their region, and I think it's complicated when their region in general is basically being cut off again. It's like, my hope is that the esports competitive team or whatever for Epic notices that, you know what, we need to be better about communication. We need to identify and recognize that this shouldn't be the way that we rely on things. We need something that is self-sufficient. Like the website, like if I go to rocketleague.com, this is what pops up. We've got the London Major, which happened months ago. We've got the fact that they announced the Champions Road tournaments, the 1v1, 2v2, and the 3v3 Rumble, and then the Sideswipe 1v1. But there is nothing on this website about the World Championship, the updates to the schedule, all of the new things that have happened in the past week. They haven't announced the difference between the fact that it's now Oxygen instead of Team Anything. They haven't announced that the schedule has changed, that 16 teams are competing. While, yes, they have some of the details of the format applied, but this announcement itself has like zero information. There's no primer that details the specifics of what's going on. Even though you either have to go to the esports subreddit or you have to go to Twitter, and they can't now. So because of that, it's like they're left in the dark. Like there is major complications. And it doesn't seem like it's a big deal, but it really is. Like you're reliant on this stuff. You're reliant on getting communication. I can tell you, like, communication has gotten better. I think the ability to talk and communicate with the competitive team at Epic has been pretty solid, as there was some favoritism in the past. But realistically, like if you're a pro and you shoot a message and you just get left on red and there's nothing, like what are you supposed to do? So I feel for the South American guys. This Brazil. I feel for the Brazilian players that are kind of having to deal with this. My hope and my recommendation is, if you are a Brazilian player like Furia's and the rest going to the World Championship, go out of your way to talk to the staff. If you are anybody on Team Secret, if you're anybody on Furia, which they are all Brazilian, go and talk to the staff, both from Blast, because Blast is going to be your line of communication, because they're not only the marketing team, but they're the tournament organizer. They're working directly in partnership with Psyonix, but also take time to talk with people like Cliff, the head of esports at Epic, Lumen, and some of those other people that are directly involved, because you need to have good relationships with those people to make sure, in case something else happens, you need to advocate for your region to say, hey, please give us something better. Please find a way to do the updates. Hell, if Cliff or any of those guys are watching, hire me and I will be like the commissioner of Rocket League. Fuck it. I will be the one that communicates with people. I will make sure I'm on top of things. I will update the website. Just pay me to do it. It's not that hard. But like, fuck guys. At what point in our 14 seasons of existing are we going to figure this shit out? It's just like, it's not hard. It really isn't. And if you can't find the time to do it, or you're not mindful of it, make it someone's job. It would go a long way. I don't know. At this point, I'm just ranting. Either way, chat, everybody watching, appreciate you all. Much love to the Brazilian people. I made a video on it because it definitely needs to be brought to light. Hopefully it garners some attention. Hopefully some changes are made. Something's got to give, you know? Like, this is low-hanging fruit stuff. This is nothing complicated. I don't know. As for the solution as of right now, again, they're going to have to use Discord. They're going to have to talk to their community managers that they have. For those that don't know, in the RLCS, there is specific RLCS Discord servers for each region. If you are like a team stream person for them, or if you're part of the team as a coach, manager, player, so on and so forth. And that's where all the big news is applied. But I did read that Royales has mentioned that they're going to be using Blue Sky, which is a Twitter alternative. Either way, if you guys want to know more info, I'm going to splice the heck out of this video. If you guys want to know more, I'll keep you guys up to date on what's going on. And I'll try to, for at least the Brazilian players, constantly provide updates on the YouTube. So for those that want to see it or know what's going on, at least they have some sort of resource to check it out. But it's going to do it for today's video. As always, like, subscribe, notifications. Helps me out. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.